Welcome to your practice. We're going to start in hero's pose. So sitting back on the heels, untuck your toes. Begin to roll the shoulder blades up, back, and down. Moving gently at your own pace. Taking the tension out of the upper back, the neck, the jaw. Softening the eyes, maybe even to close. Let the hands rest on the thighs and settle the shoulder blades down the back. Lift the crown of your head a little taller. Tuck your tailbone under a little bit deeper. Align the shoulders with the hips. Deep breath in, relaxed breath out. And maybe we set an intention for our practice today. And we'll gently begin to tuck the toes underneath you. Make sure the pinky toes are curled under as well. Slide the hands back to the thighs. Sweep the fingertips over your head high, bring your palms to touch and draw your thumbs towards your third eye, and then bring your hands towards heart center. Take a moment to focus in on your breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the nose. Feeling the stretch of the plantar fascia. Opening the thighs, breathing through maybe a little discomfort but not pain. And we'll gently begin to lean forward, place the hands on the mat, sweep your fingertips into a tabletop. Maybe place your hands one handprint forward, spread fingers wide, and come into a plank pose and then up and back to downward facing dog. So bend the knees so that the back is not rounded, but relaxed. And so prioritizing the spine, let the hamstrings come second. So starting to spread the fingers a little bit wider. We'll pull the elbows towards one another so that if you did bend your elbows, they wouldn't flare out. They would go straight back. So you want to spin your elbows in to wrap your shoulder blades around. And so if you did bend your elbows, they'd go straight back. And that's going to be a little bit more powerful position for our shoulder. And then let your neck just relax. Maybe gently shake the head yes, shake it no. Just taking the tension again out of the upper body. And from there, once we have the upper body nice and settled, fingers spread wide, we're going to start to pedal our feet by bending one knee and straightening the other, and then just reversing that, bending the opposite knee and straightening out the other. And just walking in place gently. This might be the first down dog of the day for you. This is my morning flow here, so I'm a little bit stiff and sticky in some places, so I'm just going to ease into my downward facing dog. Settle the shoulders, still the feet. Take a breath in, and then we're going to lower back down onto your knees. Good, so hands come right up underneath you, wrists underneath shoulders, drop the belly down, look forward, take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone, move your chin towards your chest and round your back to the sky. Inhale, open up cow pose, expand the front body. Exhale, tuck, curl, and round in for cat pose. Close the front body. Inhale, open front body. Exhale, open back body. Good. 2 more at your own pace. Inhale, open. And exhale, curl and round up. 1 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl and round up. Starting just to move each vertebra. Separate the knees a little bit wider, untuck your toes, sit your hips back towards your heels as you elongate your arms into child's pose, maybe forehead rest gently on the mat. Fully aware that we could come to this pose at any point in our practice today, that we might just need to settle and rest, catch our breath, and come back into the practice when we're ready. And we're going to take our child's pose a little bit further. So we're going to come to our elbows and place our hands to touch. We're going to keep our hands touching and try to draw the thumbs towards the nape of the neck, the back of the neck. So kind of tractioning back on your elbows. We want to kind of walk the elbows forward As you bend the elbows to let the thumbs rest on the back of the neck, kind of pull your elbows forward and sit back and feel that long stretch of the triceps and the lats along the side of the body, the side of the shoulder. Take a few moments to breathe here. And then we'll release the hands back to the mat. Look to the fingertips. Wave yourself forward into tabletop. Squeeze the elbows in, and then extend your right foot straight back. Hip stays long. We're going to open up the left foot off the edge of the left side of your mat. As you place the weight in your left hand, reach your right hand to the sky. So we're in a modified plank. We could stay right here, or maybe we lift the right foot up off the mat using the strength of the core and the glutes on the right side. Stabilize strong with your left leg, stay here, maybe reach the right hand overhead. Find a long line through the body, and as we exhale, we're going to take our elbow and knee and try to tap it towards one another. Inhale, elongate the body, and then as we exhale, crunch that side waist in by tapping elbow to knee. Move slow and controlled. Inhale, open. Exhale, tap, squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale, place the right foot back on the mat. Right hand reaches up high, place right hand on the mat, and then come back into tabletop. Take a breath in, open the front body, cow pose. Exhale, open the back body, cat pose. Come back to neutral spine, place the weight in the right hand as we kind of spin the right foot off the edge of the mat, kick your left leg straight back, and spin that heel to the mat, reach your left hand high. So we're just doing a modified side plank on this side now. So weights in the right hand and the right knee. You could stay there with the left foot or maybe lift it up using the strength of your gluteus medius, lifting that hip high, drawing the left arm over the head long, and exhale, tap elbow towards knee. Good. Inhale, open up. And then exhale, crunch and tap in. Recognizing when something feels like it's a little too much for you, just backing off to the previous regression. Exhale, tap and crunch. Good. Inhale, open up, and then we're going to softly land the left foot back to the earth. Reach that left hand back up high. And then we're coming back into tabletop by bringing hand and knee back to the mat. Inhale, drop belly down, open the heart. Exhale, curl and round up, close the heart, pushing the heart back. Good. Inhale, coming back to neutral, step your hands one handprint forward, wrap your elbows towards one another, spread fingers wide. Good. Coming up into a downward facing dog when you are ready. Finding that good position, again, elbows wrapped in, knees slightly bent if they need to be. Neck is relaxed. Gaze is soft, jaw is unclenched, and breath is flowing. Peek to the top of the mat and gently walk yourself forward to your hands. Keep your knees soft as you elongate your heart, find a halfway lift, and then exhale, fold gently. Let your forehead rest towards the earth as we grab opposite elbows and hang in a ragdoll. Yogi's choice, you may want to sway side to side, but ground into the feet strong. Keep the neck soft. Let the knees be as bent as they need to for this to feel good in the spine. Take a few moments just to sway or stay still. And then softly reach your hands back to the mat. We're going to inhale, find another halfway lift, so maybe hands to shins, and then exhale, forward fold. On our next breath in, we're going to sweep our hands over our head high. Tuck your tailbone, maybe even arc the upper back, and then draw your hands towards heart center. Take a moment just to stand here in mountain pose, this tall, nice standing posture. And we'll begin to heel toe the feet towards the edges of our mat. Your toes might even be slightly pointed out. All fingers begin to interlace except for the pointer finger. Draw your hands towards heart center and then push the hands forward in front of you, parallel to the ground. Wrap your shoulders back, take a breath in, and sink into a tiny quarter squat, and exhale, drive your legs back up long. Inhale, squats you maybe a little lower. Exhale, drives you up. Inhale, sink a little lower. Exhale, drive you up. Good. Keep the heels down if you can. Inhale, sink lower. Exhale, stands you tall. And then inhale, maybe sinking all the way down, and hold here in Malasana squat pose. Bring your hands towards heart center and push your elbows into your knees. Open your heart. It's okay if you're on the toes a little bit more, but we're striving to get those heels down over time. Take a few moments just to find your breath here. Maybe even supporting with a block under the hips if needed. Stretch your hands out long in front of you. Maybe draw your chin down towards your chest. Lift your hips up high and then bring your hands back towards your feet. Step your left foot back and then your right foot back. As we come into plank pose, pull your heart forward, peek over the top edge of your mat. Sink to your knees, wrap your elbows close. And then we're going to exhale, lower your chest all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes and then let the tailbone draw back. Hands are by our rib cage, elbows again squeezing towards one another like they have magnets on the inner parts of them. Pull your heart forward in a low cobra and lift your hands off the mat, using the strength of the back body to keep you elevated. We'll stay here for a few moments, breathing through this as elbows again pull towards one another. Exhale, softly lower the hands and wave your heart back to the mat. We're going to draw our tailbone underneath you, engage your core, push up into modified plank and sit back for child's pose for just a moment. As we exhale, wave yourself forward into a modified plank and then begin to sink the hips a little bit lower. Take a breath in, untuck your toes, maybe lift the thighs off the mat for an upward facing dog. Press strong into the hands. As we exhale, we're going to softly lower the knees back to the mat. Guide yourself up and back to down dog with your tailbone and elongate the legs. Let the neck relax so that our ears are in between our arms. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Inhale, peek to the top of the mat. Maybe take a big step or walk forward. Inhale, find a halfway lift at the top of your mat and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands over your head high. Draw your hands towards heart center and pause for a moment. Good. Heel toe the feet wide. We're going back into those squat pulses. So on our next breath in, we'll sweep our hands overhead high. Find that mudra, that hand gesture. Pointer finger is the only finger not interlaced. And as you extend the knuckles out in front of you, wrap the shoulders back and inhale, sink low into squat. Exhale, drive the legs up long. Inhale, squat down. Exhale, stand back up. Inhale, squat. Exhale, stand. Inhale, squat. Exhale, stand. Maybe going a little bit lower each time on this last one. We're going to hold down here, squats, and bring hands to heart center. Find malasana, squat pose. Begin to press your right upper arm into your right knee a little bit higher. Maybe the right heel even pops up as you extend your left hand up to the sky and open your heart. Maybe gaze to your left thumb. Breathe here for a few moments. So maybe the left heel is grounded down, but right heel is popped up. Hands back to heart center. Dig the upper part of that left arm into that left knee as we reach our right hand high to the sky. Open the heart. Maybe spin your gaze to your right thumb. Again, it's okay if the left heel pops up or maybe both heels are popped up. But come back to center when you're ready. Take a breath in and reach the hands forward. As we exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale, lift your hips up high and heel toe your feet back together. Walk your hands back and step right foot, then left foot back into plank pose. Get strong in the thighs, get strong in the arms. Elbows go straight back as we lower all the way to the mat at one time. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift lower high cobra. And exhale, wave your heart back to the mat. Stay on your knees, tuck your toes, push up and back into child's pose. Take a breath in and hold, and as we exhale, we'll begin to wave forward into a modified plank. Take a breath in, open the heart, lift the knees and the thighs off the mat into upward facing dog. Exhale, lift straight up and back, downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide. Breathe in and breathe out. On our next breath in, we're going to begin to peek towards the top of the mat. Exhale, walk, step, or playfully hop to the top. Inhale, find your halfway lift wherever the hands may be. Keep the heart long, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead high. Exhale, draw your hands towards heart center, right into that mudra. Heel toe the feet out, all fingers interlaced but the pointer finger. Extend your knuckles forward, wrap the shoulder blades back, and inhale, sink low, squat pose. Exhale, come to stand. Inhale, sink low, exhale, stand. Inhale, squat. Exhale, stand. Inhale, squat. Exhale, stand. So on this last one, we're going to inhale, sink low. Bring your hands towards your heart center. Open up, full malasana squat pose. So press the upper right arm into the right knee as you reach your left hand high. And we could stay here, or maybe flip your left hand back so that the top of the left hand comes to the small of the back, or maybe even the right hip crest. You could stay there, or maybe begin to stretch your right hand all the way out so that your elbow is fully extended. Flip your palm up to the sky on the right hand, and then try to reach up and back for the left hand for a full arm bind wrapped around that right knee. So once you get there, start to push your knee into your arm into your knee, and open, expand through the heart. Remember that right heel can be lifted. Begin to unwrap the right hand, bring it to heart center. Unwrap the left hand, bring it to heart center, and come back to Malasana squat. Press your left elbow towards your left inner knee, and then reach your right hand high to the sky. Again, we're going to flip the palm back so the top of the right hand comes to the small of your back, or maybe even the hip crest of the left hip. Open the heart a little bit deeper. Maybe you extend the left elbow out straight. Roll to flip your left hand up towards the sky by internally rotating that left shoulder, and reach up and back for the right hand. So maybe this isn't in your practice yet, just be patient, but working towards that full arm bind, getting the mobility in the shoulders and in the hips. Expand a little bit deeper, push that knee into the arm into knee, and then when you're ready, release the left hand, release the right hand. Everything comes back to heart center and square to the front of the mat. Fingertips reach forward, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your hips up high, heel toe your feet a little closer. And we're just going to hang out here for a moment. That can be a lot on the knees and the hips. So just keep your finger pads pushed forward, and then kind of sink back on your heels a little bit more. Elongate the upper body and pushing the weight back. We'll place our hands back on the mat, soften your knees, step right foot, then left foot back into a plank pose. Everything lowers to the mat as we exhale. Inhale, lower high cobra. Exhale, pull your heart back to the earth. And then exhale, we'll sit back in the child's pose. Take a breath in. And exhale, wave forward into modified plank. Pull your heart through, lift the knees, open up, upward facing dog. Exhale, drive through the tops of the feet, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. We'll rest here for just a few moments, finding the breath. On our next breath in, begin to step your feet together, and then gently lift your right heel up into the air. Start to stack the right hip on top of the left, and then bend the right knee, opening up the right thigh, the right quads. Ground in through the right hand. Take a breath here. On our next breath out, we're going to pull the knee towards our nose, arc the upper back, and then step right foot towards right thumb. Pull the heart forward, take one breath in, and as we exhale, sink your left knee to the mat, untuck your toes. As left hand stays grounded, right hand reaches forward, up, and then back towards the back of the mat. And as we lift up, our left hand stretches towards the front of our mat. So our palms are facing to the right edge of our mat. Our chest is squared towards the right edge of our mat. Our shoulder blades are pulled together, and our right knee is not collapsing in. We're squeezing our right ankle and our left knee towards one another to keep us nice and grounded. So begin to reach your right hand down, up, and around so that both hands are now reaching skyward. Pull the heart forward for a small back bend, and take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we'll draw our hands over our third eye into heart center, and take a breath. Inhale, hold, and as we exhale, we'll begin to take the left elbow to the outer edge of the right knee and spin your chest open. Try not to collapse into the left shoulder, but instead use the elbow and the knee pushing in towards one another to keep your back nice and long. Inhale, reach back up to the sky, and exhale, place your hands either edge of your right foot. We're going to keep the left hand down, but reach the right hand back up to the sky, moving into a modified side plank. We're going to start to heel toe our right foot down a little bit more. Spin your left foot off the edge of your mat, and then step your right foot straight back into this familiar shape we made at the beginning of our practice. So begin to lift the right foot up a little bit higher if you can. Maybe even bend the right knee, step your right foot back somewhere, and open the heart into like a funky, modified wild thing position. Good. Take one more breath in, and as we exhale, we'll place our right hand to the mat and right knee to the mat. Good. Take a breath in, drop the belly down, open the heart, exhale, curl and round up, open the back body. Find neutral spine, walk your hands up a full handprint, and lift yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Take a moment just to find your breath, and then we'll step our feet together. On your next breath in, lift your left heel up high to the sky. Roll your left hip on top of the right, and maybe bend the left knee a little bit or a lot. Maybe feel the quads of the left thigh stretching. Try to square the shoulders down a little bit more, ground through the left hand, and then begin to draw your left knee towards your nose, arc your back, and lightly as you can, step left foot to left thumb. Pull your heart forward and through as you drop your right knee to the mat and untuck your toes. Right hand stays grounded, reach your left hand forward, up and back, and that weight of the left hand spins you up into this twisted, low, revolved lunge. So left hand stretching back, right hand stretching forward. Magnetize left heel and right knee towards one another to give you some stability. Open the heart, maybe gaze back to your left thumb, and then we'll circle our left hand down, up, and around as we reach our hands up high to the sky, maybe slightly back bend the upper body. Hands draw towards heart center, and we're going to begin to take our right elbow into our left knee. So keeping the back nice and long, we're not collapsing into that right arm bone. We're really lifting up and away by pushing that right elbow into left knee. Spin your gaze maybe over left shoulder or up to the sky for more of the challenge. And just exhale each time, wringing the breath out. Inhale, sweep your hands up high. Exhale, plant your hands either edge of your left foot. We're going to keep the right hand grounded, lift the left hand high, and we're going to start to heel toe our left foot back a little bit more as we come into a modified side plank. Spin your right foot off the edge of your mat. Step your left foot back. Perhaps we use the strength of the glutes to lift our left leg up off the mat, and we could stay here, or maybe bend the left knee and step your left foot back somewhere. Push the hips through and forward as we open the heart by reaching the left hand back and over our head. As we exhale, place your left hand and left knee back onto the mat. Inhale, pull your heart forward, cow pose. Exhale, curl round up, cat pose. Find neutral spine. Take a breath in, sit back, child's pose. And we're going to rest here for just a few moments. So find your breath if you've lost it. We'll begin to move to upward facing dog. Wave your heart forward, lift the knees, lift the thighs, maybe even open the chin towards the sky a little bit higher. And then as we drive through the tops of the feet, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Feet step together. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. We'll stack the right hip on top of the left, bend the right knee deeply. Take one more breath in, and then as we exhale, draw knee towards your nose, step right foot lightly to right thumb. Pull your heart through and forward. So keep the back knee lifted, left hand grounded. Begin to reach your right hand forward, up and back so that we're in a revolved crescent lunge. And then lightly begin to reach your right hand towards the back thigh somewhere as you reach your left hand up high, but keep that right knee from collapsing in. Okay, we're going to draw our left hand, towards our heart center. Left elbow reaches towards right outer knee, and then right hand comes to the sky. Place both hands to touch towards heart center and try not to collapse into that left upper arm. We're really elongating the heart, finding a long line from left heel to the crown of the head. Start to sweep yourself up and through for crescent lunge, hands reach skyward, and as we dig our back heel to the earth, find warrior two, gazing over our right middle finger. Right knee spins out. Reach forward lightly, and then as we exhale, find reverse warrior by placing the left hand on the thigh lightly as you can. Right hand reaches to the sky. Taking one more breath in, we'll exhale, cartwheel our hands either edge of our right foot and lift the back heel up. So again, keep the left hand grounded, reach your right hand high to the sky, begin to spin to the pinky toe edges of both of your feet. So option just to kind of heel toe your right foot to the center of your mat for more support inside plank. Or we could maybe come to a full side plank by either stacking or staggering the feet. Staggering is a little bit easier because we have a wider base of support. Stacking the feet, a little bit more challenging, but drive up through that right side waist. Begin to stagger the feet if they're not already. Come back to plank pose, and maybe this time we lower halfway down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale drives you up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. Inhale, step the toes to touch. Lift the left heel up high to the sky, and as we exhale, stack your left hip on top of right and bend the knee. Feel the space elongating on the front of that left thigh. As we exhale, draw your knee towards your nose, and lightly as you can, step left foot to left thumb. Keep your heart pulled forward, back knee lifted, right hand stays on the mat. As we reach our left hand up and forward, we're going to lift our whole body, square the hips, and find reverse crescent lunge. Left hand reaching back, and then starting to slide somewhere onto the back leg as right hand reaches forward and up. Good. Begin to bend your right elbow. Find the right elbow somewhere on the left knee and reach your left hand up high to the sky. So now we're in this nice twisted shape. Place your hands at heart center and begin to really push that left knee into your right elbow to find space, elongating through the crown of the head and through the heel of the right foot. Bring your hands up high to crescent lunge. As we exhale, spin our back heel down. Find warrior two. Gaze over your left middle finger. Sushi Cat decided to join me today for my practice. Flip your front palm, reach forward, exhale, find reverse warrior. Light on the right hand on the back thigh. Open the left side body. And as we exhale, we'll cartwheel our hands either edge of your left foot. Lift your back heel up. Keep your right hand grounded and reach your left hand high to the sky. Begin to spin to the pinky toe edges of your feet. And then we're going to maybe find a modified side plank by heel toeing the left foot towards the center of our mat, or maybe a full side plank. Stack or stagger the feet, yogi's choice, but really drive up through that left side waist. Take a moment to breathe, and then we'll stagger the feet if they're not already. Find full plank. Elbows stay close as we lower halfway down to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Take a few moments just to breathe. Spread fingers wide, and we'll step big toes to touch. On your next breath in, lift your right heel high to the sky. Exhale, stack right hip on top of left, open the thigh. Inhale, hold, and then exhale, draw knee to nose, step right foot lightly to right thumb. Good, pull the heart forward. We're going to keep our left hand grounded. Inhale, reach your right hand up and back into revolve to crescent lunge. Inhale, hold. Exhale, right hand finds the back thigh somewhere as left hand reaches up. Find our little twisted lunge here as our left elbow reaches towards right knee, maybe right hand to the sky. Yogi's choice, maybe extending the left hand towards the floor. So that left hand is on the outer edge of our right foot now. Yogi's choice, maybe flip the top of the right hand to the small of the back and open up for a half arm bind. Elongate through the heart. Keep your left knee very long. Good. Place both hands back at heart center when you're ready. And exhale, open up warrior two. Peek over your right middle finger, reach forward, and exhale, find reverse warrior. Take a deep breath in, expand through the right side body, and as we exhale, cartwheel the hands either edge of our right foot. We're going to keep the left hand grounded, step right into your plank pose variation. Maybe we stay here, maybe we lift that right foot off the mat into like a star plank. Lots of core and hip stabilization required for that. Good, come back to plank pose. Exhale, take your vinyasa of choice, perhaps lowering halfway down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, strong, drives you through downward facing dog. And take a breath in, and take a breath out. Feet come to touch. On our next breath in, we're going to lightly lift the left heel up high to the sky. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, stacks left hip on top of right, bend the knee. Take a breath in, and as we exhale, draw left knee to nose, step left foot to left thumb. Pull your heart forward. Reach your left hand towards the front of your mat as it lifts you up and back. Spin your heart open to the left edge of your mat, revolved crescent lunge. Take one breath in as we exhale. Left hand rest on the right thigh somewhere. Good. Start to pull your hands towards heart center as our right elbow reaches towards the outer edge of our left knee. Maybe keeping that left hand reach to the sky, maybe right hand reaches towards the ground, and then really pull the right hip up. Feel yourself pushing the left knee into the right arm and then lift that back knee up a little higher. So maybe take a half arm bind by placing the left hand somewhere on the back or maybe even the outer hip on the right. And then we'll reach our hand back up to the sky. Good. Hands come back to heart center. Inhale, open up, warrior two. Dig your back heel down. Look over your left middle finger. Take a breath in, reach forward, and exhale, find reverse warrior. Cartwheel your hands down either edge of your mat. Lift your back heel up, left hand to the sky, and then go right into a side plank that feels good to you. Maybe even lift the left knee up somewhere, wherever you are. Lots of different variations that we've covered today, so just find where you're at in your practice. Good. Come back to plank pose when you're ready. Lower half or all the way to the mat. Inhale, find your back bend, upward facing dog, or lower high cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Big toes come to touch. Inhale, lift your right heel high. Stack right hip on top of the left and bend the knee. On our next breath out, move the knee to nose, and then lightly as you can, step right foot to right thumb. Left hand stays grounded. Reach your right arm up and through revolved crescent lunge, and then right into this reverse revolved crescent lunge. Good. We're going to bring our left elbow to the outer part of the right knee and then open the heart. Maybe go right into that half arm bind, and then maybe see if you can reach your right hand underneath, so square the hips a lot, underneath the right thigh, and maybe reach for both hands here. Now, as we do this, start to push both of the knee and the left elbow towards one another. Expand through your hips a lot. So try not to let left hip cave down. We're going to lift it up. So no pressure to go here. That full arm bind might not yet be in your practice. When you're ready, find warrior two. Take a breath in. I know that right thigh is really burning, so extend that leg long. Push your hips back and reach your right hand forward. Find Trikonasana, triangle pose, by reaching your right hand somewhere. So full disclosure, Sushi Cat has a moment back here. Nature is calling. I apologize, but we're just going to flow through it. So right hand is somewhere either on the shin or maybe the floor, but find that link through your back. Try not to arc it up. Rebend into the right knee. Find reverse warrior. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Moving right into side plank, reach your right hand to the sky. Find your side plank variation here of choice. And then maybe we go right into wild thing by floating the right foot straight back behind us. Bend the right knee, but keep your left leg long, and then pull your heart open, expand your neck back. Good. Find plank pose when you're ready, and then exhale, lower halfway to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So the fullest expression of our practice here. Find what works for you. I encourage you to come back to this practice and just see how much you progress. On your next breath in, lift your left heel high, stack your left hip on top of right, bend the top knee, and then pull your left knee to your nose, step left foot lightly to left thumb. Good. Start to reach your left hand up and back, find revolved crescent lunge, and then find a reverse crescent lunge. Right elbow comes to outer left knee, maybe a left hand reaches high to the sky, maybe right hand reaches towards the earth. We could find a half arm bind with the left hand, really reaching through, and you can see it a little bit better here, reaching that right arm underneath the left thigh and really start to expand through your hips. So the key here is not to collapse inward, but to expand outward. Push the heart open, keep that right knee lifted and long. Take a big breath in. Take a deep cleansing breath out. Open the chest, open the arms. Exhale, roll right into warrior two by spinning the back heel down. So that's a hard transition. Take your time. Elongate your left leg. Push your hips back as you reach your left hand forward, and left hand meets the shin as right hand comes to the sky. Or maybe it meets the earth. Trikonasana triangle pose. So we're taking that big roundedness out of the right rib cage and driving it down to keep the heart long. So adjusting the hips as you need to make this a comfortable space. We'll rebend the left knee, find reverse warrior, and then as we exhale, cartwheel hands down either edge of your left foot. Back heel spins up to the sky as left hand reaches up to the sky. Spin to the pinky toe edges of your feet, find a side plank, and maybe step that left foot straight back behind you as you bend your left knee, keep your right leg straight, push your hips and heart open, and maybe let your chin and throat open towards the sky. Good. Gather your core, come back to plank pose, and then for our final vinyasa, we'll exhale, lower down, inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale, strong through downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Okay, when you're ready, we'll gently begin to come into hands and knees. Sit back into child's pose. Gather your breath. Start to reach your hands back behind you and let your shoulders just drape over the knees. This could feel really good after those side planks on the shoulders. Okay, maybe slowing the breath a little bit more here. We'll lift ourselves up into hero pose just as we started our practice. Take a moment just to feel your breath moving. So left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Maybe feel how different you feel than when we first started our practice. Ready for the day. Ready to make it a good one. Knowing that you have everything that you need and you are enough. We'll gently make our way to easy seat, grab the backs of your legs, and then softly, one vertebra at a time, easy roll to your back. So knees are going to stay skyward. As we touch the bottoms of our feet, our knees will start to drop open into reclined butterfly pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. So let this be really relaxed and passive. Let the hands come where they want to, where they feel natural. Let the eyes close. Begin to receive the benefits of your practice today. And then gently bring the knees to close and heel toe your feet towards the edges of your mat and let the knees cave in, sink inward. Maybe even the pinky toe edges of your feet come off the mat. And then we'll bring our feet a little closer in and stretch our legs out long. Let our palms rest by our sides. Flip them open to the sky in a sign of full receiving the benefits of our practice. As we come into our final rest, our full shavasana, take a few moments to quiet the mind. And then we'll bring some movement to the fingers and the toes. Stretch the toes long, reach your arms overhead long, get long through the body. And then when you're ready, start to roll to the right side of your body. Let's take a moment of gratitude just to say thank you for something in your life that's calling you to you today. And when you're ready, we'll meet in easy seats. Eyes can stay closed. We'll close our practice here together by sweeping our hands over our head high. Let the palms come to touch. Feel the space between your palms as your thumbs draw over your third eye, all seeing, all knowing, into your heart center. We'll bow into our inner light. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.